Okay, so one of the many things that I'm doing is gonna take all of my leftovers and I'm just going to mini chop it up and most likely use my little Vitamix to just kind of powder everything in. So what we have here is old bell peppers. The beef is new. We've got some garlic. I don't know if you can see that. And leftover broccoli slaw. So what I'm gonna do, and obviously spring roll peppers. This setup. So I always have like a rag or a fabric or a cloth. It has a little bit of burns in it. It's not dirty, it's actually just burns. And so I can place my knife. So I'm gonna just take the inside of these. And because we're grinding them, I'm not going to be very particular on how this is gonna look. Because literally, we're just throwing this out in the, I'm just gonna take the seeds out. We're just gonna throw it in the Vitamix. All right, here we go. Awesome. You know what? I'm just gonna use this bowl to throw all my produce. All right, so we're gonna just chop this like big chunks, not a big deal. I'm actually gonna see if this is gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my cell phone and I'm gonna give you footage on what I'm doing here. I'm gonna put it in maybe 3. Do this one? No. This one? Maybe this one? Maybe this is not a good idea. Okay guys, well that is not working, so I'm gonna just go and find my old-fashioned, oh, Papa Dams. I was wondering where they went. Oh my god, this kitchen is my life. The old I don't know if you guys can see that, it's the end of the camera, but here we go. Including you. Oops. All right, so now, taking this inside. Ooh, that actually smells really good. I think it's the garlic. Yeah. And if you might have noticed, I'm wearing gloves. It's because I get really dry hands. We live in Calgary, an area in the city that's really, really dry. So I like to just not sacrifice, hands. And I'm always in a habit of cleaning up and then washing my hands too. So I always wash my hands when I'm cooking, which is, if you don't have gloves on, it's really, really not good. Okay, so I'm gonna put the beef in. Oops. And I'm going to get some spatula. Can you tell? I've never done a cooking show before. Actually, my own show. When I was in MasterChef a good 5 years ago now, or 4 years ago in 2015, everything was ready for us. And today, keeping my counter clean, I'm just gonna eyeball it. So this is dirty. One thing you'll find in my kitchen is I have so many tablespoons, or teaspoons I should say. There you go, 2 teaspoons of that. And then Etienne doesn't really like, he liked the spicy one, but not too much spice. I'm just gonna do a little housekeeping too while we're at it. I actually bought this today from Superstore, and if anybody of you wonder what it is, it's very simple. It's this one. Saurage, ground pepper. And I always have salt and pepper. My little trick is this alligator clips, or that's what I call them. I don't think they're called alligator clips, but take that away. So you got your salt and pepper. And I always use the Himalayan salt. I don't know why. It's just because I like it. So now we are going to mix this. As my mom would say, use your hands. That's why you wear gloves. Oh my God, it smells really good. You can actually make meatballs out of this. If you put like a little bit of, if you do cornstarch, there you go. A cornstarch with a tiny bit of water and just kind of eyeball it. That's the nice thing about cooking. Sorry. I'm on my tippy toe because this counter is really high. But this is really the great thing about cooking instead of baking, as everybody of you know there, if you haven't, and if this is the first time you're in my channel, I'm not a big baker. And welcome. It's you can really make dishes with just really your preference. I mean, I probably put 2 teaspoons of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, ground pepper. But I put probably 10 of these because I like it garlicky. And you can actually smell that. And if you can see my hand, you're going in and out, just like this is how my mom taught me. So you're going in and out like this, and then you're grabbing your both hands in there, and then you're almost making a swirl. I don't know if you can see that. And then that way, it's kind of like your hands are a machine, and it really mixes everything there together. There you go. And the great thing about having gloves is you can literally just take it off. And if you've noticed in my counter, years ago, I was friends with this Russian lady, and she gave me this. It's a hand moisturizer, and I've been hooked ever since. It's not bad. It's $6.99 or $6.95 at the Russian store in Calgary, Alberta. Okay, so we're gonna wipe this counter. Always have a big pile of laundry in that bin. Okay, so now while we're having this to sit, normally it's gonna sit in the fridge. See how dry my hands are? It's terrible. It's gonna sit there for normally about 2 hours, but I really don't have the luxury of 2 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and what I'd like to do with this paper is I take them off one by one. There. It's actually pretty easy to take off. The reason why I do this first is so that your hands get sticky in the middle of everything. So you want to be able to get this out of the way. There should be 20 of them here. And it's really easy when you pull it. This comes frozen, by the way. And you can just sit it in your counter. Yeah. And boring stuff, boring stuff. But this is part of cooking, right? This is where the Zen comes in. When you're just like, okay, you have to be present and you're just doing one thing at a time. Beautiful. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so it's really easy. What time is it? It's 15 minutes since we started. With the chopping mistake. That's hilarious. Well, we could probably fast forward on all of these things. Still recording.